No boat goofing in the dime bag snake skin. So damn fresh that the weather still shaking.
Oh, hey. What's up, guys? My fault. I was just new boot goofing around. You feel me? Y'all caught me. My bad. But welcome to episode 4 of What Mr. Wheels Thinks. I'm excited this week because we're trying to go off a little bit off the rails than usual, like we always try to do. You feel me? We're trying to. So this week we're going to start off by talking about something that we, a little bit off topic that we usually really talk about. Yes, I guess if I wasn't into sports, all of you know, I would probably be in the entertainment business. And the thing I like about the entertainment business, it has a lot of fields. There's a lot of ways you can get in it. So, of course, you guys know I'm a big wrestling fan. There's acting, there's singing, there's dancing, all that good stuff. But people forget about stand-up comedy. And I think that is amazingly, gifted talent that people need to have to tell jokes, because not only are you telling a joke, you're telling a story. So that's why I figured that's why I know that comedians, they're storytellers. They're great storytellers. That's what you have to do. So some of my favorite comedians are Cat Williams, your boy Cat Williams. I love that guy. And then we got Joe Coy. Joe Coy, I love funny. Stop your socks, Joseph. Then we got, the OGs, you feel me? Like Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias. I love Gabriel. That's my boy. He's funny. And then there's this new guy that I've been watching for a while, Bert Kirscher. Big boy hater, big boy. Boy just comes out with no shirt on when he's out there on stage, and I love it. He's just funny. All of those guys, they all have different cultural backgrounds, but they all do talk about the same thing. It's always about all their family stuff or what they go through. And I think that's so awesome that comedians share that with us, because it just reminds us that they are humans just like us. That everyone around us, we are all the same is what I was trying to say. We are all the same, and comedians remind us that just because they're celebrities, and I like it when they tell jokes about their friends that are like A-listers. It puts them on the spot, reminds us that they are human just like us. A Netflix special I watched recently was the David Spade, Nothing Personal. I thought that was pretty cool. It was a little, the deliveries on all of his jokes were kind of just calm and relaxed. He didn't go over the top and like some of the other comedians do, change their voices or something. But no, he was just straight talking smooth through it, and it was funny. It worked. He was just telling stories. It was literally just like if you were sitting there with your best friend and they were just telling you a story. And I thought it was awesome. That was great. You guys need to check that out on Netflix. Nothing Personal, that's what it's called. But like I said, comedians, they use their everyday struggles and they put them on the stage. It does come back sometimes and backfire on him. So just remember to keep his wife out your mouth. Next on the agenda is we're talking about history making already in the major leagues this year. We're only about being about 20 plus games into the season, and we've already had 2 players make history already. First up is Miguel Cabrera from the Detroit Tigers. It was a couple weeks ago. This man joined a very small group of players in Major League Baseball history by hitting his 3,000th hit. 3,000. There is a real life Mr. 3,000 out there. That's crazy. He is one of 33 people to do this in the whole history of the Major Leagues, which is amazing, astonish. The next guy, I know you Dodger fans are going to like this, is Kareem Benzema. Calling him the LA King, the Strike King, the LA Strike King. He set the record, and he's continuing to set the record for the most strikeouts in Dodger history. He broke it at 2,697, and that was the record, and he's still going. So, wow, this guy's going to probably get to 3,000 Ks sooner rather than later. Both of these men are first ballot Hall of Famers. No questions asked. The consistency these guys both play with throughout their whole career is astonishing. I think it's amazing what they do. So yes, history makers straight off the bat. 20 games in a season, making history. Love it. Moving on to the next story. The next thing on is... Excuse me. Got a little itch in my nose. The next thing on the ballot is we're talking about being picked late. I believe it was last weekend. They had the NFL draft. The NFL draft was here, and there was a lot of head scratching. At least for me, there was a lot of head scratching. Like I said, at least for me, because I felt like every draft I've watched since I can remember, within the first top 10 picks, a QB always goes. Excuse me. Wow. It wasn't until the 20th pick in the first round that the Pittsburgh Steelers picked up a quarterback. And this quarterback was from the University of Pittsburgh, which I think is kind of cool. Kenny Pickett. Like I said, I've never really seen any QB wait that long to get picked as the first QB. Everybody was taking offensive linemen, running backs, wide receivers. Nobody was getting QBs yet. And then it wasn't until the third round, the man that I thought would go a little bit higher or lower, whatever, however you want to word it. He had to wait until the third round and was picked 86 overall. And he was out of Liberty University, which is a small school, but he's really well known. Malik Willis, really, really good. I believe the Titans drafted him, which is kind of, I like that. You know, you already have a franchise quarterback in Ryan Tannehill, but you're going to come and draft this young talent to make him as a backup. And it's good because, you know, you kind of put some pressure on that franchise, on Ryan Tannehill. You put pressure on him to let him know, like, you know, if you're really the guy, show us now. And I like that. So, and Ryan Tannehill's, you know, welcoming him with open arms. I think it's awesome. And he's not looking at it like, oh, this is mine. He's thinking it as a competition. And that's good. There was a lot of quarterbacks that went late, but I believe all of the quarterbacks that went into this draft class of 2022, all the quarterbacks, and especially these two quarterbacks, they need to prove that all these scouts and all these recruits were wrong about drafting these, waiting late on them. They're saying this, I guess, is the weakest draft of QB draft classes in a while. That's why they had to wait so long. But I need them to prove them wrong, and I think they can. Especially, I'm pulling for Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett. We're going to see, you know, Big Ben's gone. We're going to see what Kenny Pickett can do in Pittsburgh. I'm excited for that. Yes, sir. Moving on. Oh, this one's going to be a little hard for me to talk about. I know my producer, he's going to be loving this one. But there was an amazing game, excuse me, that was played on Wednesday, I believe. No, yes, on Wednesday. And it was Real Madrid versus Manchester City in the semifinals of the Uefa Champions Cup. And so in soccer, when they play playoffs, they play more than one game. And they carry the score over. And what that score is called, it's called an I'm sorry, let me get this right. I want to give the information to you all right. It's known as the aggregate score. So they add up all the total of the scores from the first game and the second game, and that's who they figure out who wins. So at the end of the first game, Manchester City was up 4-3. 4-3, and it was also played at Man City. So this game was being played at Real Madrid's, I believe they call it Casa La Blanca. My producer will know more, and he'll put a picture up of it right there. It's beautiful, isn't it? I guess. Well, it was around this Yes, it was around the 72nd, 73rd minute in the second half. Manchester City's Riyad Mahrez, he just boomed one in off of a perfect place pass. Boomed it into that top right corner. Got it past the goalie, Real Madrid's goalie, and it's 5-3, 1-0, but 5-3 aggregate goals. I said, oh, here we go. 90th minute came. Everyone knows soccer. When the 90th minute comes, that's towards the end of the game, and all you need is the extra time that's going to be added on for all the goals and all the injuries that people try to, kill time. They add that time on. In the 90th minute, Rodrigo got the ball. The ball was going right in front of Ederson's hands. He was trying to catch it, and Rodrigo just came and kicked that in. Boom, kicked it in. All right, 5-4. That was in the 90th minute. Then I looked at the stoppage time. Referee said 6 more minutes. That's a lot, 6 minutes. So, played 6 minutes. 3 minutes into that 6 minutes, a beautiful lofted pass by Danny Carvara. Danny Carvara. Excuse me, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that right. Well, anyway, he lofted a beautiful center pass from outside of the box all the way in. Went over 2-1. The first man that missed it was a Manchester City, and then it went over a Real Madrid player's head, and then behind the Real Madrid player's head, there was Rodrigo just sitting, waiting for it, and boom, he hit that with his head, got right behind it, and he hit it in, and oh my God. He tied the game. Like, what? The crowd went nuts. It went crazy. My producer said he kind of shedded a tear because he was so happy. Like, oh, devastation. Winner. Go to overtime. Overtime. Anybody's game. But when you scored 2 goals in like less than 3 minutes apart to tie the game, all the momentum is on the Real Madrid side. And it was because not even 5 minutes into the overtime, Kareem Benzema, who was kind of having an off day, I would say, everybody would say, he drew a foul, just like the veteran would at the right time. Drew a foul, and it was a foul. I'm not arguing it was a foul. It was a foul. He got clipped in the foot in the box, so he was rewarded a PK, and he had to make up for all the mistakes he was doing all day, and he did. He put in that bottom right corner, fooled the goalie bad, and scored. That made it 6-5. Aggregate scored. And then the rest of the game, Real Madrid's defense did exactly what Manchester City's defense should have been doing. As soon as you get the ball in their own box, you kick it out as far away as you can. And that's exactly what Real Madrid was doing. They did perfect to the T. I kind of give them a little golf clap. Golf clap emoji. A little golf clap, yeah. Y'all better finish what you started. Y'all better go beat Liverpool in Paris, France, for the finals. I don't like Liverpool. Beat them. Come on, Real Madrid. Beat them. But it was a historical comeback. But it was just against my team. That's what made me cry. It's okay. Moving on. So, this is a little different than what I'm used to talking about. But, I watch it a little bit. I wanted to, touch base on it just so y'all know it's out there. I call it football on ice. But it's just hockey. It's just hockey. It's probably a little bit more aggressive than football. Because in football, they don't allow them to fight it out for about 2-3 minutes. In hockey, they're allowed to punch it out. The refs just back up and let them fight, which is pretty cool. But right now, it's not only is it the NBA playoffs, but the NHL playoffs is here. And whether it's baseball, hockey, football, basketball, I don't care. When you get to the playoff rounds, when you get to the knockout rounds, stuff starts to pick up. Intensity starts to pick up. Physicalness starts to pick up. And I like it. So I'm not too familiar with these teams that are in the playoffs. But I will tell you that in the Eastern Conference, we have the Florida Panthers battling out the Washington Capitals. I believe Washington won the Stanley Cup about 2 years ago, so they're kind of like, they've been champs before. Florida, I know, is a team that's the highest rank they've ever finished in the season. They've never finished that high, so people are kind of like, what's going on? But it's cool. We'll see how that goes. And then you have the Hurricanes taking on the first number one wild card in the East, the Bruins. I believe, yeah, it is. That is the Boston Bruins. Yes, the Hurricanes are taking on the Boston. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with these teams. I should get a lot more familiar and get better at this. But the Boston Bruins are taking on the Hurricanes. Then we got the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. I believe Tampa Bay is the defending champions of the Stanley Cup. They won it last year, I believe. And the one series this is kind of why I started talking about it, because it came up. The New York Rangers versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. Game 1 of this series went to a triple overtime. Triple overtime. That's nuts. This is supposed to be the first triple overtime in Madison Square Garden hockey history. So that was the first hockey game that went triple overtime in Madison Square Garden. And you know the history of the Garden. If that's the first time, that's saying something. Now we're going to move on to the West Coast. In the West Coast, we got the Colorado Avalanches, who I guess finished on top, and they're playing the second wild card spots, the Nashville Predators. And then you got the Minnesota Wilds taking on the St. Louis Blues. Then you got the Calgary Flames. Remember, there's a Canadian team here. Calgary Flames look to flame out the number one wild card in the West, and that is the Dallas Stars. Finally, we have the Edmonton Oilers, another Canadian team, eh? They're battling out with the Kings of LA, the LA Kings. I guess unfortunately this year the Anaheim Ducks didn't make it. Sorry. But the only California team we got in here is the LA Kings. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see how the LA Kings do and see if they can go far into the playoffs. I believe the favorites to win it all are the Florida Panthers, and I believe people are also talking about the Colorado Avalanches look pretty good too. I personally believe that the Maple Leafs might make some noise. I just like the way they're Maple Leafs. That's cool. It's awesome. I love it. You guys, thank you so much for watching me talk about what I love to talk about. Now, before we go, I want to say thank you, like I always do. I love you. And to make sure that you hug and kiss your mother, because today is Mother's Day, and I do it every day. So please, be kind to each other. I love y'all. Remember what the great Xavier Woods says on Up, Up, Down, Down. Keep it tight. And you know what I say? Rock Chalk, J-Hawk, Paka!